All right, guys, we are here with the new season of the Basic Battle League. We're here to discuss what is going to happen with the rules, the tier lists, the draft, and so on, and how it's going to work out. Uh, this is already the third intro. Thanks, Shadow. The first one was on my end because
I'm the best.
the first one I flubbed it. I flubbed it hard. I flubbed it really hard. Anyway, so one thing we just want to talk about right here, you can see we have the rules. We're going to go over the tiers. I'm going to actually randomize the draft order.
Mhm,
And that should be about it for the day. I would like to do. I don't want to go through like all the players that we have at the moment. We have
mhm.
18, and that's a long video. And actually, I'd like to.
Woo!
I know, go over that in a sec. But what I would like to do is once we have the draft finished and the schedule made and everyone put into their divisions, then we could do it based on like the divisions of
Mhm,
player introduction. I think that'll be great. So we're gonna have just as a little info, we're having three divisions of 6 players, so it'll be 18 teams altogether. This is
mhm,
quite a jump, a bit ambitious from us, I know, but we'll see how it goes. Last season we had 10 players. We were going to have 14. We were trying to get 14, and then some players, they had to drop out for personal reasons before the season started. Season two, we had 12 players. That was the most we had up to this point. And then season one, we had the introductory season. We had 10. Um, just a little info on just how this season or how this league came about. I started it little over a year ago, almost a year and a half ago. Maybe a year and like 3 months, something like that. Uh, I am in the I don't really like follow in the Discord because it's kind of dead, but in the Lock Discord, the Pokemon MD, the Lock podcast Discord,
mhm.
that's where a lot of people. That's pretty much where all the first 10 of us came from. Because like there were people who were like interested in doing their own league, right? A lot of people hadn't done any, and they thought it was really cool to do one. So nothing had happened until one day I just made the server and was like, well, let's see if we can get people. And after a few days, we had 10 people, which was a great way to start. Season one was a bit tumultuous. It was pretty much all of our like first seasons for pretty much every single one of us. So we didn't really know what we were doing, especially us moderators. It was not
Mhm.
easy. You were not a mod at the time. You weren't even in the league at the
Not
time, but
yet, not yet, no.
no. But uh, yeah. So funny enough. So like we had 3 people actually. I think it was like 2 or 3 people drop out. Actually, it was 3 people drop out before the we got to the playoffs, and this was like with a few weeks left. We had like 5 or 6 games that are not being finished, so we had to get some forfeit wins. I actually went 4-4 in the regular season in the first season. 5-4 because I got a free win from someone dropping out. We had to adjust the playoffs to 7 teams when we were going to make it 6, so we just made it 7 because of people dropping out. I won season one despite me playing like up and down as hell the first season. I just came alive in playoffs. Season two, we actually had a number of new players in the team. We had some people, kind of like not really play the second season from the first, but we had a number of new players, including the current
Me! Yay!
co-commissioner and co-moderator of the Discord server, Shadow Stitch TCG. I'll put his link in the description because he also does these videos. And
So yeah, season 2 was my introduction to the league. Shout outs to Natu for letting me join. And it was definitely really fun. Just a brand new experience for me and Draft League because I've been playing Pokemon off and on for since Black and White, basically. So I really enjoyed, finding this new format, and that was what was that about like February or something like that. I joined, and we started around then for season 2, and I thought it was just a great idea to like make content for the channel, and I ended up kind of being, I guess, my channel ended up kind of being the hub for like the content for the channel for a little while. But, we had like all the draft analysis on there. We had like a weekly kind of podcast thing that we tried to do every week where we watched all the replays, and that ended up going up on my channel. And obviously, I had my games that I put on the channel, so I thought that was really fun, for sure. And then yeah, we ended up with like we said, 12 players, and it was a top six for the playoffs, right? It was top six. Yeah, something like
Yeah, in season two
season
it was
two.
top six.
So yeah, so yeah,
The past two
and
seasons we've done top six, I believe.
mhm. So, and then I ended up making it to semifinals, which was really cool. And Chrono ended up winning that season, which was really awesome.
It is
And then
important to
that
point out
leads us
I made it.
into
It is important to point out I
go
did
for it.
make it to finals in season two.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
It's a
did. And
fun little tidbit, right? So I was like one game ahead of Chrono. We were in the same division. I was one game ahead of Chrono. We
hmm
actually played the final week, and that was the game that was going to determine like top two seeding. If I
hmm
won, I was guaranteed first seed. If he won, he was like either one or two. I forget what it was. Camel was like
hmm
locked in as like I think number two seed or something like that.
yep.
Um, and so like he won by like a 1-0 or a 2-0 in the final game of the season, and then in the final game of the playoffs, right? Uh, he won by like also a 1-0 or a 2-0. It was like a really close game. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Then yeah, last season. So season two we had. So season one was Generation Seven decks, right? So we had Z-moves, we had Mega Evolutions in season
Megas. Yep.
two. It was post home. It was not pre home. It was post home. It
hmm
was we had Gigantamax with some kind of like we didn't actually have that much limited. And then season three is where we banned Gigantamax, and this was post uh, Isle of
Isle of
Armor.
Armor. Yep.
Yes. So, and
So.
that's the season where that was actually my worst season so far to date. It was not fun. I think part of that was also my draft strategy changed from like season two. I went very analytical with what I was like going for, and I was like
hmm
very aggressive with my draft. And in season three, I was trying to go more fun, trying to pick up like monsters based on value and just try to like kind of have whatever. And that didn't really work out, especially where I was started at because a lot of like literally I had like 4 or 5 mons. I'm like, all right, these are the S tier mons that I want. Did not get any of them because I was like eighth in the draft. I was like eighth
Yeah.
pick.
You were no, you were the last pick of the draft.
Was I?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure for season three you were the last pick of the draft. I
And I
was like six or seven. I was somewhere right in the middle. So and then yeah, and
yeah.
the prize for Chrono was my idea because that was the season that Majin invited me on to be a moderator and a co-commissioner for the league, and I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, it was pretty cool to be able to come in and help out, run stuff. I built the dock, and we worked out the rules and the tier lists and everything like that. And yeah, well, it
Yeah.
was definitely really cool.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and yeah,
You've been
and
such a you've been we've butted heads a few times, but you've
a
been
couple
such
of
a
times.
yeah you've been a big help. The giving
Mhm.
Chrono the first overall pick was not my idea, but I was like, you know what, it's fine. I ended up
I
being like,
thought it
whatever.
was something. I
No, it
thought we
was
needed some
entirely your
kind of
idea.
prize.
No, I
It
get that.
was.
Hey, I didn't get anything for winning season one other than bragging rights, okay?
hmm
But without spoiling too much, because it should be in this week, and you're hoping to make a video, there is
hmm
going to be a trophy of sorts for future winners. And we
hmm
were able to get it done for the season three winner. I was hoping it wasn't going to be one of us moderators, but it was indeed. Spoilers, Shadow Stitch TCG. I do want to point out I had a huge part in him winning because I just had to help
Yes,
him
yes, you
build
did.
so damn much. I
Yes,
had
you did.
I had so many good, Mon set like ideas and freaking just everything for like all his team, yet I could not do it for mine.
Season three was also the first season that we introduced best of three playoffs, which
Yeah,
I thought was incredible.
that
So
was
yeah.
I believe that was my idea, but it was something that I was like, it sounds fun, but also
hmm
could be hell for players. They may not want to do it, and we put it up to a vote. And this season, it like there was like maybe a couple of people who were like kind of not all on the idea, but for the most part, people actually were for best of three. Like it was
hmm
just some people were like, well, you know, like one thing that some people were saying even last season was, well, how much could hacks play a part of it? And like in a few of the games, right? Like in your games against Nick, right? Game
Yeah,
one, there was
my
some
game
hacks.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like always
my
going to be like a crit or a burn or a para or something that like is bad. But when you have three games, it lowers the chance of like hacks dictating the entire set. It
yeah,
gives yeah
I think the perfect example of that was my game two against Nick. Like I switched in my Volcarona on his Jirachi, and he got a random freaking ancient power boost
yes, that's
because
true.
and like he got a random ancient power boost and it almost killed my Volk, and then he went for it again and he got the another 10% ancient power boost. So he got back to
20
back
because of certain games,
20
but
10%, and
they're
then
20.
the
But
game was just over. It
at
was
that
just
point,
over.
yeah,
So yeah.
at that point of him getting it, it's like 4% chance to get it both times in a row or something like
hmm
that. It
So like
is, yeah.
if like think of how unsatisfying that would be if
If that was just
that
your
was
playoff
my
game,
one game. Yeah. Like but because we played best of 3, it led me into a situation where like I was able to gather a lot of information, and I was able to go into a game 3 much more prepared,
yes,
and that was just really good. And I really enjoyed best of 3, and as long as the players want it, because this league, this isn't my league, this isn't Majin's league, this is a league that we genuinely feel like we won't. This is for the you players. Like
yeah,
most of you guys watching, this is not our league. This is for you guys. So like we will almost always put things to a vote, and we will almost always take your advice and your input to heart,
yes,
because we want to make sure that this is fun for you. Like we will sacrifice our own fun to freaking make sure it's
yeah.
good for you guys.
So like I may have started this league and I do take great pride in it, but I
hmm
certainly like for me the goal is to make an enjoyable experience and fair experience for pretty much everyone who's taking part. And also of course keep the server respectful and all that stuff. That kind of goes
hmm
along with it. Anything else kind of want to talk about before we get into the rules?
That's pretty much it. Just a nice little history lesson of the BBL, and just what we're all about, pretty much. So, any of you new players, we have a lot of new players this season, which is awesome.
We
So,
really
I guess
do,
this
about
could
half the
give
league.
you, yeah, yeah, about half the new players, which is pretty awesome. So, like, this gives you guys a little bit of backstory about the league itself, and a little bit of an introduction to, I guess, your commissioners. So,
Yep.
but yeah, you ready to get into the rules, buddy?
Yeah, so I'll just do like a quick rundown of some of them, then I'll kind of give you like
hmm
a chance to talk. So be
Yeah, we
respectful
can
of
like
the yeah,
break it up. Yeah, we can like
yeah.
break it up, so you can just start in one section and I'll do the next. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So.
So obviously, always be respectful to people. That's don't be just understand things are gonna happen. Hacks happen. Sometimes some people might make rules that you don't like, but if you have an issue, always just talk to us. All right, talk to us.
Don't be
Don't
a dick.
sure. And I've had to correct you on some stuff. Okay.
Yes, yes, you have.
So
Majin's a good friend. So.
assisting in team building is allowed, but helping someone in playing a match and also playing a match for someone else is not allowed. So like I mentioned, I helped Shadow in building his games, but I was in no means in voice chat with him in playing them. I was no means taking over his alt and playing for him. I was not. If you're watching the game, do not mention what to do for
Mhm,
anyone like in the Discord or in the game. Don't try to not spoil anything for like sets or whatever. Just all that stuff. Obviously, so there is the Pokemon Showdown Sports server. We're gonna have a link for that for anyone who is
mhm.
in the server. I'm also going
Discord.
to try to put a link to the Discord in the video for anyone who
Mhm,
maybe want to watch who does want to get into a draft. There is no room for this season, but we will have room for future seasons.
mhm,
Trust me. Uh, and this is all in the Galar Dex draft format. No Dynamax, no Gigantamax. We always try to post our links, so we now have the Porygon bot, which I am not the most familiar with, but as you've mentioned, it helps keep track of things like
Mhm.
kills, differential, and stuff like that, right?
Yep, it's just a bot that is just really nice, and it's going to make my job easier because I'm the one that largely imports all the information into the doc. So it's just going to help my make my job a lot easier. It's a little bit buggy at times, but for the most part, it's a really good like bot because it keeps track of like all the kills and all the information in the battle, so I can just nice and quickly, easily look at it, and then maybe later I can just go back and I can
Yeah.
double check everything.
Does
So
does it save the replays as well or no?
it does, yes, it automatically
Okay.
saves the replays.
Uh, also, if you're playing the game, always I would say also just save your replay just in case too. Uh,
Yes, yeah, for sure.
if you ever exit a game and you realize, hey, I have forgot to save the replay. If you posted a link to the game, as long as you go into it, like I think within 15 minutes of
Hmm.
exiting, it'll still be open for you to be able to go and save it. Otherwise, after 15 minutes, the links expire and there is no game there left to get. Uh,
Yeah,
if
don't
you're,
don't pull a me in my semifinals.
yeah, if you are unable to participate in your game by, so we have weeks start on Mondays of the week
Hmm.
and on the Sundays. If you're unable to play your game, this happened a lot more last season than we would have liked. Uh,
Yeah.
please contact your opponent, the moderator. You can post in the server. It doesn't matter. Stuff happens, but try to also schedule your games well ahead of time. Don't wait until Friday to say, hey, when can we play? So
Hmm.
try to have that in mind, so that way people keep it in mind. People remember. Uh, so I guess you can start off with the season format.
So yeah, the season three, or four, rather. I need whatever. Season four is going to be over 9 weeks because no, we have 18 players. So we're going to have three divisions. You're going to end up playing everybody in your division, and then you are going to play play two games against each other division, which is pretty cool. So we may end up having a bye week at the end of the season, just right before playoffs,
Yeah,
just to catch up on if anything got missed. So
yeah. Part of me is
like
thinking maybe we could do. So like one thing we were talking about was after the draft this week,
Mhm,
having 2 weeks for week one because of Thanksgiving coming up. So we could
mhm.
possibly do having the week of Christmas also extend to the week of New
Yeah,
Year's.
we're very likely going to be skipping the week of Christmas as well, but we pretty much have already confirmed that we're going to be starting like the actual games. The first November 30th is going to be.
Well,
So but yeah,
I thought what we discussed was we'll just have the week of Thanksgiving extend also an additional week, so it'll be 2 weeks for week one rather than just starting
oh, okay,
after.
yeah, that
Yeah,
works.
so people
I
don't
mean,
have
if
to play
people
in
want
that
to
first
play,
week, but they can.
yeah, yeah. So like the basically that first week will extend until December 6th, basically. So there was that. But yeah. Anyway, games like Manja said, games weeks
Schedule
begin on
your.
Monday and end on Sunday. So what's that?
No, no, I was gonna say yeah, that's what I said.
So, so yeah,
Have
make
we came
sure
up with the names for the divisions yet? By the way.
I came up with preliminary names. I got the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum divisions.
Yeah, I
I
like
mean,
those
we
names.
can change those later. Yeah,
I like it. I like
but
it.
sweet.
No need to
So
change it.
the players are responsible to schedule with their own opponents. I will be more active in making sure that things are scheduled. I would really like to see some progress being made by Wednesdays. So Wednesdays, draft members are going to get a ping from me. To make sure that to see what's been done, there is going to be a scheduling channel. You guys will be welcome to pin your scheduling comments, so you can both can keep track of it. And yeah, so and if any issues come up, please inform us via DM or via ping in the Discord. That's fine, and your opponents as soon as possible. Like I said, we know life happens. Crazy. It's life. We get it, but like we need to know as soon as possible. So we can prepare. So, and there's that. And
Yeah.
we really, really like to have all the games, if possible, done by Sunday evening, because Sunday evening is when Majin and I and anybody else that wants to join, we like to do this, like we said, like a little podcast kind of thing where we review all the games, we look at the matchups for next week, and we just talk about it and we have some
Yeah.
fun. It takes some time, and it's going to definitely take some time with 18 players,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's just a fun time. So
Last season we were hitting like hour and a half mark on 5 games. Imagine 9. We might have to
so
split
yeah,
into like 2 videos every time.
yeah, we'll see how that ends up coming out. But
Uh,
yes,
yeah.
18 teams, 3 divisions. We already said that.
Yeah.
You played each coach in a team, and then 4 games
Yeah.
outside of your
So you'll have,
division.
yep.
Okay,
So
so here's
here's
the
how the
fun part.
playoffs are. Yeah, so here's how playoffs are going to be
Hmm.
seeded. The top two of each division will be qualified for playoffs. So that'll be the seeds 1 through 6. Uh, and here is how we determine those exactly. So we have the overall record, right? So we're in nine
Hmm.
weeks. If say the top record is 7-2, right? So that'll be better than someone who's 6-3, even if they have a better divisional record. Then we go to
Hmm.
divisional record for the divisional rankings. That is the first tiebreaker, right? So if you have, say, 2 teams at 6-3, but one has a divisional record of, I don't know, 4 wins, and the other has one of 3 wins, then that'll go to that person. Then, of course, we have
Hmm.
differential. Differential is number of kills you have in your from your games. So if you lose by say -3 or you win by +3, those go to your differential. I was gonna say I think we should have it where let's say someone wins by like say life orb, like let's say they die to life orb as their last mon, but they also kill and like it's a 0-0. I think we should count that as a 1-0 at minimum.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a 1-0. I would
Yeah.
count that as a 1-0
Yeah, or if the
because yeah.
opponent explodes and it kills both players, like that should be. And then of course we have head-to-head records. So if say someone
Hmm.
has the same record, same divisional record, same differential, and same sorry everything. So then we would just go by head-to-head. So if me and Shadow were in the
Hmm.
same division, then that would matter. Uh,
Hmm.
that'll only matter for the top two seeds. So if you're in third seed, this will skip the divisional record. And this is where
Yep.
the next 4 players. So there are 4 wild card seeds, seeds 7 through 10. Now, what will happen is the first 6 will effectively have a bye week. The last 4 will play, and that will actually be a best of one format for the
Hmm.
wild card. So it will be
Hmm.
4 teams playing 2 games each, or playing a game each. Sorry. It'll be
Hmm.
the 7th seed will play the 10th seed, and the 8th seed will play the 9th seed.
Hmm.
The winners obviously will be put into the top 8, and then we'll go as usual with the bottom seed playing the top seed and kind of break it down as it goes from there. For
Hmm.
the wild cards, it does not matter your standing in your division. It just matters from overall record, differential,
Hmm.
and then head to head. And if we have a 3-way tie, we may have to go into like strength of schedule.
Yeah, we'll have to go a little bit more in depth, but
Yeah,
thankfully nothing like that has come up yet. So
yeah.
that's pretty good. So, but yeah.
So that's just
Um.
kind of that.
Mhm. So yeah, the battle format. I mean, like we said, it's going to be on the sports server. It's linked here in the doc. We will also have a link in the info channel, so you guys can easily access it. We have it's going to be Galar Dex Draft. So when you're building, make sure that you have that selection in for
Yeah,
your tier. Galar
that
Dex
matter.
Draft. It
Yeah,
just makes things
that'll
a lot easier. So
that may matter for. I don't think it'll matter for any Pokemon, but it will matter for some moves like Baton
move
Pass.
sets, yeah.
Yeah,
So, all standard smoke gun clauses are in effect. Sleep, evasion, species, all that fun stuff. You can find that linked there as well. It's going to be 6v6 in an altered OU move set, so or OU rule set that is. Dynamax to Gigantamax band, like we said, and we are actually allowing trapping this season. That's something
yeah.
that we have not had yet. So, yeah,
I was
pretty
for
interesting.
Reintrap being allowed and then banning Shadow Tag, but we just ended up including it all in one.
Hmm. And
And
then
we
Dry
yeah,
Baton Pass. So,
yeah.
yeah.
There is also one thing I want to point out. People may not really think about it, but so the species clause also partakes to the draft as well. So you cannot draft, say, uh, uh,
Wheezing and Galar Wheezing.
yeah, you
Like
can't draft Rotom Mow and Rotom Frost or Rotom Wash and Rotom Heat, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
so just keep that in mind. It goes that clause itself goes to that as well.
Yeah.
So we have you mentioned the dry pass. Uh, so we have 6 tiers actually, but we are only dropping through 5 tiers for the
Mhm.
tiered picks. S, A, B, C, D, and F. D and F are included in the same in terms of your required picks, your 5 picks that you have to choose.
Mhm.
Um, the S tiers will not receive points. So the S tier, you can only draft one S tier in the entire draft, and no one is able to have more than one S tier in their draft. That's something we just feel like S tiers are, without a doubt, far too strong to be able to have multiple of. Also, if we were to have
That's your
multiple be able to draft,
ace.
yeah. Also, if we
Yeah.
were going to have multiple of, we would have to have a lot of Pokemon that aren't S tier put into S tier for no
Mhm.
real reason other than just because we need the numbers. Which,
Yeah,
like right
and you
now,
guys will see like when we get to the tier list, like we'll explain more of our like
yeah,
design philosophy around this tier list, and I think it came out pretty well
yeah.
for the most part. So.
So as we mentioned, so we have the 6 tiers, but 5 of the picks will only be from A through F, and the points we came up with was actually so based on how much points each one of them cost, which is all included. So A is going to, we'll go over that in a sec. You can, so it says players may use their points at any point of the draft. Their first selection for any tier will count as their fill in for that tier. If you draft an F tier first before your D tier, you can just say this is my point pick. We'll just allow
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
because it's
Mhm.
yeah, because you wouldn't want to draft an F and then draft a D and be like, well, your D is your points pick, and lose
Yeah, I
20
mean,
points.
but if you guys want to draft, if you want to draft an F tier and call it your D tier, I mean, sure, I
Sure,
guess.
just
Like, just
point
let
it
us
out.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are not required to use all 440 points in the draft. You can use them for future reference for picks. So if you have, say, 40 points left in the draft, you can say drop, say, an F tier to pick up, or you could drop, say, a D tier, and you have 40 points left to pick up like a C tier or something, right?
Hmm.
Uh, And funny enough, in season one, we actually had to use like anyone who had remaining points in the draft to help determine like uh what was it Z Crystal order. So like if
Hmm.
anyone had points left, they had like a higher pick in the Z Crystal, and pretty much like 2 people actually had points left. So that was fun. And guess
Yeah.
what? I had the last pick in that thing too. Uh,
So yeah.
so this looks weird. Uh, Players may not select an S tier with their points. We mentioned that. So it's 180
Hmm.
points for A tier, 120 points for B tier, 80 points for C tier, 40 for D tier, and F tier is 20. We
Hmm.
chose to make D tier and F tier separate for that because like D tier actually has a decent amount of mons they're not bad, and F tier has a lot of really just garbage. One thing we looked at like last season was D tier was just had very few actually viable mons, and it just has so many garbage Pokemon that we're not going to get drafted.
Yeah.
Felt like a chore to have to draft them. So we this season we wanted to focus on making them separate. Uh, the draft. So this is going to be a snake draft. So as you'll see, I will randomize the order. Right. So the
Hmm.
order we'll drafted. We'll just say draft order, and it should show like this random one, right? So it'll say pick number one is team four, then five, and then what will happen is we'll flip it for rounds. So the odd round number rounds will have like say something like this, while the even number rounds would be like just a flip. Uh,
Just goes up and down, up and
yeah,
down.
yeah.
So.
You have so we're not doing a live draft. We are doing what is essentially I forget who suggested it. Someone else suggested it back in season two, which was a great idea. Uh,
Hmm.
we have just a continually going draft. No one here like we only have like a few people who have YouTube channels and we're not big and
No.
it's too much to try to even with just 10 players it's really hard to kind of coordinate everyone's schedules just to do a draft and then put everyone on the spot to make picks so when you get sniped it's just like oh crap I only have a few minutes to decide and you kind of got
Hmm.
to figure it out so what it'll be is people can put their picks in the server. I think what'll be cool is if you can put like the image of the Pokemon too with it because you in the little what is it the not the Porygon bot the other one
Beheem.
the Heum.
Yeah, that's why I added Beheem. So like
Yeah,
you
that'll
guys can just use Beheem if you want to with your
that will
drafts. Like
definitely help
there's
with
some
us.
mons. Yeah,
That
there's
won't
some
work,
mons that are like not included, like the brand new mons, but
but that's
like
fine.
most of them are included.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. So if you want to do that, it'll actually help us with sorting through and be able to be like in case
Hmm.
we misread something. So we have a kind of an 8 hour kind of like limit. So what it'll be is we'll end it at a certain time at night. We'll go to that in a second, and start it over in the morning. People can still
Mhm.
draft in that time, but the reason we give 8 hours is that's plenty of time for people at work. If people are at school or if people are asleep, we're all different time schedules. Things happen. What people can do is, like if I select my pick and then the time my next pick comes around, uh, like I'm asleep or something, I can give someone my pick to say, hey, pick this for me. So long as they don't pick before me, or we come to the agreement that they're not going to snipe me. That's
Mhm.
why you're like, hey, so like if I make my pick and then I'm like, so hey, Shadow, where are you gonna draft? And you tell me, oh, I'm a draft Zapdos, right?
Really tough.
Sure, right? And then like if I know that you're picking before me, I can say, all right, well, pick this one for me then. If that one gets picked, pick this one or this one because I might not be able to
Mhm.
be there, right?
Yep.
So that's a good way. Just make sure it's to someone who's going to either draft after you, right? Let's say you're the first pick in the first round, and you're the last pick in the second round, and I'm the second pick in the first round, and the one before it. Then that's also fine.
Mhm.
Or as I mentioned, just make sure that there's no sniping going on, because some people might be able to be like, "Ooh, you're gonna pick this one. Well, I'm actually wanting to get it later, so I'll just get it now." So that way that doesn't
Mhm.
happen. If people, we'll try not to be too strict with this,
Yeah,
but
we're pretty lenient, but like if you blatantly just don't freaking pay
if you
attention
ignore
to the
it,
timer,
yeah,
yeah, like
we we ping
like
people
this
too.
may seem a little harsh, but like you're gonna have to wait till the very end of the draft. Don't make
Yeah,
us do that, guys. Like, I believe in y'all, so
yeah.
yeah.
Uh, so as mentioned, so the draft clock will be inactive between 12 a.m. midnight Eastern Standard Time and
Hmm.
9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for me, Pacific time, that'll be 6. We have someone in Australia. I have to actually look up
Yeah,
their time schedule to
we'll
figure out if it's okay with them.
we'll we're gonna have to work with him. Shout
Yeah,
outs to King Darthur. We'll work with you because we know that is a
yeah,
very large time gap. Like it's a little bit easier for like East Coast to West Coast, but like we do understand that that's a pretty significant time gap to Australia. So we're gonna you might get special permissions. So
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, as mentioned, while the timer is not going, people can still make their picks. It just means that no one's on a timer when they do. So if I'm the last pick, I make my pick. Well, and then someone after it, like Camel, he can make his pick, and then the next person can make their pick. But no one's on a timer until the timer sets again. Uh,
Hmm.
so we are doing free picks at the for a 24-hour grace period at the end of the draft. You and me have been arguing about this. You're saying three.
Free is fine.
How about
I want unlimited.
no? How
Okay,
how about we settle and
but
say two?
two. You
Yeah. If most people are only going to use two, then I say we make it two so that way people don't abuse it.
All right, fine. Live editing two. Two. 24 hours. You have 24 hours and you get two free agent transactions.
Sweet.
There
Can
you
you
go.
also fix where it says season three?
Sure.
Cool. I was like, why is this being
There you
edited? I'm
go.
like, oh, okay. Sweet.
So yeah.
All draft picks must be made in the season four draft channel and then tag the next member. Uh, we will have the draft order was it pinned to the top as well as the tiers, so that way it's easy for someone to
Hmm.
go and look. Uh, you'll get four free agent transactions for the season.
Hmm.
Uh, did we? So did we make how many you can have in a week? Is it just unlimited? You can use all
No,
of them in one
we
week.
kind of unlimited it. No, we kind of unlimited it because like last season we didn't really listen to it anyway.
I
Because
I
like I
busted
mean we
all
had like
three. I busted
you,
three in one
yeah,
week because I was just
yeah.
like
So like
tilted.
and like especially when we're using points it's like a little bit easier, but like yeah, our free agent rules are a lot different than a lot of other leagues, and I think that's
Oh
really cool
really?
because it's very unique.
Do
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just have
very
like
simple to it.
three or what?
So, well, they have a certain number, of course. Like sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. However, they almost always have like a trade deadline that's like at week. 6 or something like that, that they don't allow any. We allow free agent transactions all the way up through week 8, okay? Here's the restrictions though for it. Like if a team does end up making the playoffs and they have any number of free agent transactions left, they are down to one remaining free agent transaction. And this is something that I've never seen in any other league, and I really like, and I think it's really unique. You are allowed to make one free agent transaction during the playoffs, and that can definitely
Yeah.
really help. So
A
that's
lot of
really
yeah,
crazy and something very different.
a
So,
lot of people don't even use their transactions. Like I remember, I think it was season two. Chrono maybe used like one during the regular season or something, if any,
hmm
and like didn't use any in the playoffs. And like someone like me, I ended up using a decent amount, like just during the season as it went on. So
the
yeah,
greatest example of being able to use a playoff transaction was actually me last season. So I ended up dropping Noivern into Jellicent,
yeah.
and that actually helped a ton because it changed how my opponent had to team build.
Which actually, after
Because they
talking
had
with
to
Cam,
deal with
yeah,
the Jellicent, which was really cool. So,
after talking with Camel,
um,
what he ended up doing was so the reason why his Cinderace was adamant was because it was the only way to 2-hit KO Jellicent,
mhm,
but he forgot that like because he forgot to put on Sucker Punch, so that actually made it to where that's why your Lycanroc was able to outspeed and kill him.
mhm. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
that does make a difference. Yeah.
yep,
Uh, One thing I do want to point
uh,
out: if someone is clearly out of playoffs, try to not use your transactions, because we don't want it to be like someone you're just handing
yeah.
someone a Pokemon.
Like we yeah, it's like we get it, but like it's still kind of a little scummy. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, don't be a dick, guys.
If
Don't be a
if
dick.
if I'm if
Basically.
I yeah, like you have unlimited coach trades they can be used this season, but again, if we feel like a team is out of playoffs and another team is, in playoffs, then that we may veto that because like, hey, it's
Yeah.
pretty obviously that you're trying to give someone a boost. You
Yeah,
still have,
we're
by the way,
pretty lenient,
yeah,
but like, yeah.
by the way, with any trades and transactions, they must still adhere to the 440 point system. So
Mhm.
you can't trade an F tier for an S tier, right? You can
Mhm.
trade. You still have to follow. You still have to have your 5 required tier picked, and then you have to have your points. Uh, if you trade a Pokemon, you may not trade for that Pokemon again until it has re-entered free agency pool, meaning you cannot pick it up until you pick it up as a free agent if you trade one away. Trades
Mhm.
cannot be performed once that postseason has begun. Uh,
Mhm.
One thing to point out is if you play your game, you can't have any sort of transaction until all the games for that week have been played.
Mhm.
So if I play my game on Tuesday, then Wednesday I can't try to drop a Druddigon for a Jellicent because that wouldn't be fair to other people who are playing who may have to have that pick.
Mhm.
All trades
Yep.
and free, yeah, all trades and all transactions must be made 48 hours to give before a game to give your opponent time to build. They may waive that, but if they say hey, I did not build for that and it's already Sunday night, then like they
Yeah,
have to
nah.
adhere to that. Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
this is why it's very important to actually schedule your games and pin it so we can see when you are actually scheduling your matches. So we can keep that in mind for those free agent transactions. This is also something that's very unique to our league that I don't see very often, like at all in any other leagues. Usually you are not able to make free agents or trades in the middle of a week and have them active for that week. However, we're on Pokemon Showdown, so it's a lot easier to
build.
readjust and change and build. So we feel like 48 hours should be plenty enough time. And that's why we say before any scheduled match. And that's why it's very important for you guys to actually schedule, pin a comment so we can keep track of that for you guys. And of course, the gentleman's agreement is always live. So if like for say Bruins was an example of that. Last season she picked up bronze on week 2, and it was like the day before that she was scheduled to play Camel, but Camel didn't mind, so he just let her use Bronzong. So like you're more than welcome to just let your opponent use it. However, the ball is in your court, so there is that pretty
Yeah,
much. So
that's Camel for you. Camel's an agent, not a
Camel's
kid.
pretty cool. So
Yeah, I think he's made playoffs in every single season too. I'm not quite certain. Maybe let's
I
see.
wasn't around for season 1, but I
He
know he
well
was.
he
He
did
did
make
two, 2 and 3.
he did make season one because well that was a season where like all of us were in. Beyond him, let's see. I know Quack didn't make season two, so it might be Camel being the only one who's made playoffs in all three seasons so far. I'll have to go
Hmm.
back and look at that, but that's an interesting little tidbit of trivia.
Yeah, shout
Uh,
outs to Camel.
yeah.
So
All transactions must be made in season four transactions, and you must obviously clarify if it is a free agent transaction or a trade. Some people will say trade when it's actually a free agent transaction. Please say if it's a free agent transaction, say you're
just
dropping them
put
on for the
FA.
yeah,
Just put FA.
and also
You,
put
you
how
know.
many you've used.
Hmm.
Yeah. Playoffs will be played.
I'm usually pretty good at keeping track of that kind of stuff. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm yeah, it'll be okay. So
Playoffs will
anyway,
be played following the end of the season. 10 players will
playoffs.
participate. We kind of like already broke that down.
Hmm.
Uh, the next four records, quarterfinals, will be one versus we. 8 is kind of tentative. It's just one versus lowest seed, or like worst seed, second versus the next worst seed, third versus the
Standard
next.
tournament
Yeah,
structure.
and
Yeah.
fourth will place the like highest of the back four. Um, Matchups, semifinals, finals we played when we had the final twos. This does need to be adjusted to where we say for the wild card round that it will be
That is
BO1.
true. Yeah. Like
Uh,
it's on the schedule. I did put it on the schedule. Like
yeah,
I put it at best of 1, best of 3, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I will edit that later. That's fine.
yeah.
So
All
but yeah,
when you have yeah in best of three format, your games will be played in succession. You will have short like 5 minutes to make adjustments. Sorry,
15
15,
minutes. You have 15
15.
minutes between games. So yeah.
Yeah, so you have time to make adjustments to a team that you have, a team that maybe you can make a team if you want, whatever. You cannot
Mhm.
have discussion with other people about a team.
Once you start game 1, you're on your own. So like
Yeah,
what I did, what Majin and I did for my playoffs is what we did is we made 2 maybe 3 sets per Pokemon. Like even if we didn't think that they were going to come, we made multiple sets per Pokemon, and I built my team with those sets. And I would adjust EVs, I would adjust move sets, I change up items if I saw fit. But yeah, once you start your game, you're on your own. So like have it's very cool, it's very good to spend some time and prep, and that's what I suggest that you guys do if you do end up making it to that playoff situation. Just make a bunch of sets that you think will work um, against your opponent's team, and then there you go. So,
yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
I do want to
So,
point out it's not exactly easy for us to prove if someone is cheating, unless they make it like incredibly
yeah,
obvious. There are ways that people could, and we would have no idea. But we're just gonna like this is a casual league. We're gonna trust them. I mean, there is a prize, but it's still considered casual.
yeah.
Uh,
This is like we said, this league isn't our league. It's for you guys. So
yeah,
don't be a dick. That
yeah,
that's Cody's moral code. So
yeah.
don't be a dick. So,
Anything something to point
so
out, you
yeah,
cannot use free agent transactions between games. Also,
obvious.
week 9, or your ninth game of the season will be your final game of the regular season. Once you play your final game of the regular season, your free agent transactions will go from however many you have, if you have any, to one for the playoffs, if you have any left. So it's not
Hmm.
once the entire week is done; it's once you play your final game.
Yep.
Uh, have multiple teams or sets per mon ready just so you can have a go. Good luck in the playoffs. There will be a tangible prize. Don't let Shadow win this next season.
So yeah, yeah, and everything else we have here, I still have to edit the draft, the rosters pages,
I
stuff like that.
yeah.
But
I'm a,
for the
I'm
most
a,
part,
yeah.
mhm,
I'm gonna come out with like a schedule, not of players thrown in, but I'll just have what I've done in the past of have
yep,
mock players like if we're going Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, we'll have like D1 playing PL2 or something like that on the
yeah.
team. We'll have
Yeah,
something like that.
the schedule will not be released until the grace period has ended.
Yes.
So
So no
that's
one may,
just like
yeah.
a
You may
yeah,
not
that's just
counter
like a
pick for
little
your teams.
yeah. Mhm. pretty much. So yeah, and then I guess I can go over the team, your guys' team page, real quick if you want to just hover over the team page.
We can do that later. I mean, like I said,
I'm just gonna talk about it just really quick.
is that
This is just
where the
your
hell is that
guys'
at?
team page. It's just the blank one because
Oh,
yeah, so your team
okay,
name's gonna be there. That's the coach. You have the Discord name. So if you need to find somebody on the Discord, their showdown name. Please don't use silly alts. I'm looking at you, Panda. We need to know what fucking alt your guys are playing under. The abbreviation for your team that's going to be on everything else, the time zone that they're going to be in, the division that they're going to be in, and then you're going to have your roster, the kills. I added the kills per game this time over the games played because it was just kind of pointless, and you're going to keep track of your record, and you're going to be able to see all this other fun information. And yeah, this is what I do. This is usually my Sunday night is inputting all this information. So yeah,
yeah,
and that's why I say try to get your guys' games in as soon as possible, because if I can do any of this information like during the week, that's awesome. So and then same thing for that. So
yeah,
and then yeah. So pretty much that's about it, more or less. You want to finally get into talking about the tier list?
yeah. I gotta put one of my Raycons away. For some reason, it's acting a bit staticky.
All right. So
As long as you can
and I
still
will
hear
be
me and
keeping
the
track of
audio can hear
the
me.
kill leaders. I will be keeping track of the kill leaders again
Yeah,
this season. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
All right.
all right. So yeah. Um yeah, just
So,
let me know whenever you're on the tier list page and
I
we can go.
am. So let's go over the band mods real quick. Obviously, we have the usual Dunsparce, Galarian Skuntank, and
Hmm.
Stunfisk and Galarian Stunfisk band.
Clearly.
Everyone knows these mons are incredibly broken. The OU Council has not
Just too
done anything
much.
about
They're
them in
just too much,
ages, and just yeah, like obviously there was a lot of power added into the Isle into the Crown Tundra, but you know a lot of those powerful mons were also just are there to support these monsters.
man. Hmm. So yeah,
Uh,
but
then
yeah,
just a
then
yeah
just your usual band mons. Some of them little bit more contentious ones. Like sometimes you see Mew, sometimes you see Dracovish, or Libero Cinderace. We just feel like none of those mons are really healthy for a draft
yeah.
format, and
Libero
yeah,
Cinderace alone was
so
just crazy
yeah,
last season. So Mew is is a mon we were considering at first, but we just immediately decided on yeah
yeah,
no it's a mon that does way too
yeah.
many things. Speed Boost
Hmm.
Blaziken is banned, but Blaziken is tiered.
Hmm.
A lot of the
So yeah,
legendaries, Galarian Darmanitan with so it's Gorilla Tactics on Galarian
hmm,
Darmanitan is banned. Zenmo Darmanitan is allowed. Sheer Force
hmm.
Landorus banned. Genesect banned. So Power Construct,
Mechanical,
yeah,
Pheromosa,
Power
like,
Construct
and then
on either of the Zygardes is banned.
yeah. Hmm.
Let's see, Pheromosa we did ban.
Hmm.
Um,
And then
Magearna,
all the rest of it's
yeah,
just legendaries, which are
Naganadel,
pretty obvious.
Libero
So
Cinderace, Libero, Scorbunny, and Raboot are allowed, but Cinderace
mhm.
no. Dracovish, obviously, and then the Calyrex forms. Uh, so funny.
Yo, there's a freaking
Also,
league that
we
one of
banned
them's in. Yeah. So
so
go ahead.
we banned Kieran Black, which I thought was funny because we
Hmm.
allowed. So like I voted to ban Metal Metal and allow Kieran Black. I feel like they're not on the same page as to what is broken and what isn't. A number of people
I don't know.
felt different.
Like we said, we put almost everything to a vote for you guys, and
Yeah, I don't know. I
you
don't
guys'
get it, but
votes
whatever.
spoke. So yeah.
Anyway, as we run through
S
the S tier,
tiers.
so we have both the Zapdoses. You got the physically defensive Defog or Rooster Zapdos. Then you have with electric coverage. Funny enough, none of the Galarian birds actually got any of their other stab coverage
Yeah.
back from
Kind of
the
weird,
Pokemon.
isn't it?
I feel like if anything they could have had something, but I guess not. So anyway, so we
Hmm.
have Galarian Zapdos. Also, that mon is crazy. So a lot like I've ran Thunderous Kick before, and people will be like, "Why are you not using close combat?" Well, because Thunderous Kick is
Because
amazing.
Thunderous Kick is good.
It
So,
lowers their defense, and then it's like, "Oh, now what is your switch in? Are you gonna
mhm.
stay in and take this Brave Bird?" Yeah. So that's obviously really, really good. We have Dragonite. I'm not sure what it got really besides what Scale Shot in the
I got
Dual
Twinkie.
Wing. Dual Wing Beat, which isn't
which
like
is actually
strong.
really good for it.
It's basically like Dragon Claw with less accuracy for flying coverage, which isn't bad.
Same
It
thing
gives
with
it another
Elements.
Salamence, of
So
course.
yeah.
The Lotties, at first I thought they didn't get anything new until people pointed out they got Mystical Fire and Orphear, which is insane. It
Mhm.
gives them, as people point out, it gives them things to actually hit what was otherwise hard for them to hit, like they could hit
Heatran.
Heatran. Aegislash is a bit easier to hit. Well, no, it was already easy to hit with Shadow Ball, but whatever. But it
Yeah,
just
but
it
Mystical Fire is a little bit better than
Mystical Fire,
Shadow
yeah,
Ball. So
obviously, well, it is weaker than Shadow Ball.
5. It's 5 base powers.
But
Not that bad.
it's still useful, right? It allows it to hit things
Mhm.
like Ferrothorn without hidden power, which also Mystical Fire is stronger than hidden power. So
Mhm.
that's that. It still has things like Bolt Beam coverage. It has recovery. It has Calm Mind potential. It has Dragon Dance potential. They are both really good.
Yeah.
Garchomp, I think the only thing I got was maybe Scale Shot. Did he get Scale
Mhm.
Shot? So
It got Scale Shot. Yeah.
other than that, I can't really think of anything that it got. At first, people were worried it was going to get Dragon Dance, and it didn't, which was a good thing.
Oh, thank God it did not get right. No, no.
Anything else you can think of for
Heatran
Garchomp?
is pretty crazy.
Uh,
I mean, let's just kind of like speed through them. You know, Heatran got freaking Eruption.
it had Eruption
Eruption with
before, but
Timid
now it
now,
can,
which yeah,
yeah,
now
it
it
can
can
now have
run
a
Timid
speed
or
or a
Modest.
modest.
So yeah, that's cool.
I used that a lot back when I was trying to do Nat decks like for fun,
Mhm.
and it was incredibly good. It did
Yeah.
not give a lot of switch-ins. Scarftran or Spectran with that is stupid.
Yeah.
Victini, I'm not sure if Victini got anything new.
I didn't really get anything new, but it's really good. It has like amazing
It still
coverage
has
and it hits
V-Crate,
like
right?
insanely hard. Yep, still has V-Crate, still has Bolt Strike, still has Blue
Glaciate,
Flare and Glaciate if you want to run a special set. Like it's just a good mon, like
yeah,
in general. And Heavy Duty Boots really helps it out a lot
yeah.
because you know it can be like a great pivoter.
It can
And
still be a
yeah.
annoying Bandit or Scarfmon because
Mhm.
100 was 180 V-Crate is what base power is, right?
Mhm.
That is just dumb.
Before stab, which is
Before
yeah.
stat. Like, yeah, it's base 100 attack. Try switching it to one. It's like before, it was before Dracovich's time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Excadrill, which S tier
Yeah,
I think was a bit high for it,
Excadrill.
but
No, Excadrill is absolutely insane, and I think our run right now in the LET is definitely proving that because this mon is just absurd. It has so much versatility and it hits so damn hard, and you don't even have to have the best sand setter. And like,
it
I'm
is
not saying
good.
Gigalith is a bad sand setter.
I
It's
mean,
good. It's
don't
just
get
like
me
you don't
wrong.
even have to have like the Tyranitar or the Hippo. Like it's just amazing. Like this mon is amazing.
Don't get me wrong. The Mana is really good, but yeah. Uh, then we have
Trust me,
Goth.
it's
Yeah.
S tier.
Then we have Gothitelle. It is S tier because of Shadow Tag. We're not gonna have
Mm-hmm.
non-Shadow Tag Goth in a different tier. It's just there.
Nah,
Volcarona.
no, just
Volcarona is
woo,
the
baby.
same thing as it was last season. It's still a mon that can set up. It has heavy duty boots. Speaking of heavy duty boots, Tornadus was it Therian, right?
Mm-hmm.
That mon is very good with heavy duty boots. It lets you just come in, defog, not take rocks damage, and get out. It's always a mon that's going to be annoying. We have Landorus, which does not have access to good flying coverage now because no Z moves and it cannot Dynamax. But it's still an annoying mon. But funny enough, Landorus is struggle with opposing Landorus now because of no hidden power. Isn't that
Mm-hmm.
good? That's just great. That's fantastic. It's funny enough, Aegislash is in UU right now.
Is it
But
really? Oh
yeah,
my
this is the
god.
mod we maybe could have thrown in A tier, but S tier is fine for it. We also needed some numbers for S tier, so we kind of had to like
Mm-hmm.
over tier a few mons, not too many, but we had to over tier a few mons maybe.
Mm-hmm.
This was one that kind of like fell because we needed. I wanted, like I said, we had to have basically at least like 50% more S tiers than what players we had, especially with that
Mm-hmm.
18. We definitely needed a lot. So
Yeah.
Zygarde with Aura Break, this mon is annoying as hell.
I
But
love this
I
mon.
mean, just bring ice type coverage on all 6 mons will be good. Um,
Como is probably a tiny. It might be a little over tiered, but
it
we are
is.
allowing Clanker's Soul. But it's still a good mon,
It's still
and it
good.
has a good
It's very
versatility.
bulky. It's it's
So
it's a
yeah.
mon. It's a mon that if it gets drafted, will probably be drafted as one of the later S tiers. Uh,
Mhm.
Coco and Tapu
Yeah.
Lele both in S tier. Not Tapu Bulu or Tapu Fini, but we'll get to them. They did not get
What are
the
you
Rising
talking about?
Voltage.
There's the new Tapu Bulu right there.
They did not get their terrain moves. They didn't even get terrain pulse,
Yeah,
which
the track deck was a little crazy. I thought they would at least get the
yeah,
pulse.
well, the people had data mined was at Pokemon Home and found that they had it. So at first I was thinking either Showdown was wrong because Showdown did not include a lot of the new moves that Pokemon got. Um, but it turns out just they didn't give these Pokemon those moves, and honestly, you gotta
I
kind
think
of
it was
be
our
glad.
fault. I think it was all the people making the content saying, "Oh my God, Coco and Lele are going to be broken," and they saw those
I
videos and
think
they're
that's a good
like,
thing.
"Yeah,
I think
nah,
that's a
we
good
can't
thing
do
too.
that."
I think that's a good thing too. I don't think these guys need it. It also
Yeah,
makes
nah, like,
it also. I mean, maybe Boo could have got Grassy Glide, and I think Feeny definitely could have
yeah,
got Mystic. Feeny could have also gotten
chats,
Terrain
please
Pulse.
kill your Tapu Fini for us, please. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still they're really good still. It just means that they're not broken. Because if otherwise we would have either had to ban those moves on those Pokemon or ban these two Pokemon for sure.
Yeah, Lele for sure absolutely would have been
Coco,
broken. And
Coco's
Coco
move
was
is.
very borderline as well.
I mean,
So
Rising Voltage did
yeah,
only affect Pokemon that like were affected by electric terrain, so flying types were not
yeah, but
actually.
it
It did
it
not
getting
boost
close
on them.
combat and yeah,
Play
it
rough,
getting close
all those
combat
things.
and play rough was
It did not get
I think
either of those.
honestly bigger. It did not, unfortunately.
I think it could
So
have at least
yeah,
gotten those. Um, yeah. Could you
but
imagine if Lele had gotten Mystical Fire? Ooh, ooh,
whew,
in order here.
that would be gross.
Uh, then
Um,
of course we have
yeah,
Celesteela. This is one of the better
Celesteela,
Ultra Beasts.
yo, so dumb. So
Very
this mon
strong.
is like a top 10
Did
mon
it
in
get
draft.
anything new?
It's amazing. I think it got didn't get it got body press. I know
It's
that
not bad.
one. It got some other stuff. It didn't get cosmic power. That was the big one that everybody was freaking
Ah,
out about. It did not get cosmic power. No.
yeah. Speaking of another
But
thing
yeah.
people were worried about, Kartana, it does not get Grassy Glide.
Mm-mm. And
But that doesn't.
Blacephalon does not get scorching sands. Those were the ones
That would have
that.
been too good for it.
Yeah.
But these two are still insanely good. They're just new. Blacephalon is just so hard to switch into to begin with. You need a very bulky normal type with like Spadef, or like
Hmm.
a water type with a high Spadef stat. Kartana, you need a lot of like really bulky physical attacker, like Tangros or something. That was always my favorite
Hmm.
switch in Gen 7. Uh,
Yeah. Tankrowth is a pretty good switch in for it.
then we see Metal, that annoying ass bastard.
Hmm. Yeah,
Ugh.
I'm still like kind of iffy on allowing Melmetal. Like it just hits too damn hard. So
It's basically
yeah,
because what it is it's heavy. It's iron. Was it? Its signature
Iron
move is
Fist,
it's
double
60
iron
base power.
bash.
Yeah, so it's 60 base power for 2 hits, so it's 120. But it also gets a 20% boost, making it like 144. Uh,
Before stab, which is
yeah,
just like ugh,
it can also
gross.
flinch. So if it's
So
faster than what you have, you can get flinched, and that's happened to me. Where I'm be like, why? I clicked teleport, clicked skip turn, thought I got the teleport off without reading it, then clicked to switch into a mon, and that mon died, and I'm like, wait, what? Until I realized, oh, I got flinched. Both hits have a 30% chance to hit to flinch, so it's almost a 50-50 actually to flinch.
hmm.
This
Yeah.
mon is stupid with that move. Without the move, obviously it's not nearly as broken, but it's still good. But it's just like double iron bash is a lot. Then we
Yep.
got Rillaboom, a Pokemon
Tapu
that got
Rillaboom.
that Pokemon for me got 8 kills last season in literally 2 games that it got kills in. That was funny.
Hmm.
Uh, it's still really good. It's honestly I do think it is genuinely better than Tapu Bulu in every way. Tapu
Hmm.
Bulu doesn't even get play rough, and like it being a monograss might suck. Like it's not a immune to fairy type, but it's still really good. And it has U-turn, it has knockoff things that Tapu Bulu does not get, and Grassy Glide.
Yep.
So you can run a slow, bulky one and still have Grassy Glide to outspeed people.
Yep.
Uh, Dragapultamon that wasn't really over tiered or under tiered. It's like kind of like maybe mid S.
It's Dragapult. You guys know what
Yeah,
Dragapult does
I
by
kept
now.
saying
It's
I
an
think I
S
said
tier.
Dragapult. But yeah, Dragapult is
Uh,
Dragapult.
Single Strike Urshifu. I mean, it hits stupidly
This
hard.
was a mon that I
Quack.
was kind of iffy
Yeah,
on, but I ended up like
yeah,
voting to allow it, as people
yeah.
did too. Regieleki,
Quack didn't perform amazingly with it
it
last
still did a
season,
lot
but
of kills. It was
might
like
have been.
top
It
three in
did
kills in
a
regular
lot.
season.
It still did a lot.
It got
Yeah.
like top three in kills in
Um,
regular season, and
something like that. Yeah.
it was like behind Cinderace, Libero. So
Hmm.
Regieleki, a mon that is like if your opponent does not have a ground type, then it just
The
won't
most
TAM.
controversial S tier. The most
Yeah,
controversial S tier for
it is.
sure.
Here's the thing: if you put
However,
it in A
yeah.
tier, it's like unbelievable. If you put it in S tier, it's maybe like whatever. It's a mon that there's ways you can do it, right? So like, I haven't watched the video, but I know people were talking about like the ring target, like on some mons, like
Hmm.
yeah, some Pokemon running a ring target
Yes.
to trap the ground types. You could even like, I don't think Regieleki gets tricked, but I know Orsotru, but I know people like, I think it was Pokegame. He had a video of it with
Hmm.
Zoroark, and Zoroark was just like, oh, Regieleki, they're always gonna go into the ground type, give them ring target, and now they
Bring
die.
a target. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
the reasoning that we didn't really that we wanted same thing with kind of Spectrier as well is although Spectrier probably would have been S tier either way, but these
eh,
Pokemon they and maybe they both don't really get the best coverage. However, of course, because we are allowing trapping, we did not want to allow the best trapper paired up with these two Pokemon, basically.
yeah,
And we didn't want the option of Coco plus Regieleki as well.
yeah. You can run
Because like,
Pincurchin, but
yeah, you can run Picurchin, and if you want to run Picurchin, all power to you. But we wanted to definitely limit those extremely strong options because allowing Gothitelle plus Spectrier or Gothitelle plus Regieleki would have just been major problems, I think. And I'm glad that Majin felt the same as well.
yeah.
And yeah,
Spectre is
so
a mon that I'm like, well, pretty much any normal type pretty much walls it, but I'm fine with
mhm,
it being an S tier either because I don't like playing against it. Then
mhm.
we move on to A tier, and A tier
Yeah,
is
we're gonna have to go through these ones a little bit quicker. Let's just pick out
yeah.
some of the, I guess, a little bit more
Clefable,
controversial ones. Yeah,
Clefable being A
okay,
tier is a bit
Clefable.
iffy, but I think I'm fine with it. Like S tier is pretty high for it. Like in draft, it's a lot easier to play around, and like it's still really good, but it's not like it doesn't have the same defensive power that it did before, especially with all these S tiers. Like pretty much
Mhm.
majority of them are able to handle Clefable in any way. Uh,
Yeah, we also have Zeraora in A tier as well.
yeah, it doesn't have
Yeah,
the
this
same
one's
kill
a little bit
power.
crazy. So
It doesn't have the
yeah,
kill power. It's easier to switch into. Honestly, most Fizz Mons just switch into it anyway. So
mhm.
it's not like too difficult to handle. Doug Trio, obviously we allowed a Arena Trap, it's still good. Wobbuffet, obviously.
The two Tapus, we have the two other Tapus here. They are still very good. They have really good typings and all that. However, they're just not like
Yeah,
they're not the creme de la creme like
yeah.
they are anymore. And even
Funny
Tapu
enough,
Bulu is like severely outclassed
how
as
this
well.
worked out was we had one of every weather setter. So we have Alola,
Mhm.
Ninetales, Tyranitar, Pelipper, and Torkoal. That was not intentional. Uh,
So
we,
yeah,
I think Hippowdon is down in B tier, or is it an A tier?
no, it's an A tier. It's also an A tier. Yep.
I'm trying to look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Weather
yeah.
is a
So it
little
was a
bit.
mon. It was a
Weather,
mon. Yeah,
yeah.
Hippowdon
Weather
was
is
originally
a little
like
bit
gonna be B, but
expensive.
I was like Hippowdon is a bit too good to be B tier.
Yeah, weather is going to be a little bit expensive to get a really good weather team in
It's
this
not
season, but
impossible, but yeah,
it's not hard. However, like I said, it's going to be a little expensive. But like I think that if you do want to get weather, you will invest into that. But yeah, one more mon that I think what we should talk about down here in A is going to be the Urshifu Rapid Strike,
yeah,
and
that was a mon I thought was
yeah,
S,
that's
and people put it in A. So
mhm,
let's talk about it.
yeah.
It's a mon like honestly, it's Urshifu. It's just water Urshifu, so it's a bit easier to switch into water type moves. But as people also realize, it still has close combat. That move still hits like a truck on most things anyway. And then some
Mhm.
things like I do want to point out, it's able to hit things like normal fairy, like just plain fairy types or fairy types that don't really have a switch into water. Like it's harder for
Mhm.
them to switch into it because Surging Strikes just kills them. I do want to
Mhm.
say that. I
Yeah.
did
I mean
want,
that it's a good A tier. I
yeah,
think that this is a good A tier.
yeah.
So yeah.
I did want Corviknight and Grimmsnarl in B tier. I feel like they don't have the same like
Um,
stay power, but that's
yeah.
whatever. And then Pex was a Pokemon at first I was kind of thinking of as B tier, but for that one, for that mod specifically, Regen Core is just a bit too value, I guess, for B tier.
Mhm.
We allow
Yeah.
Slowbro in B tier. I'm looking at B tier right now, but like we put
Okay.
Pharaoh in B tier. Um,
Mhm.
I'm trying. I swear I'm looking through this whole thing.
Got
Uh,
Skarmory and B tier as well.
yeah,
Let's see.
I felt Skarmory and
Let's
Corv
see.
were basically on the same level, but yeah. So we put like so people wanted Mallow in B tier. I'm like, what? That was
Mhm.
weird. But we have Mammo here. We have Zendar Manitan. We voted on Rhyperior, and Rhyperior, for at least for the initial vote, Cadmore for B tier. Uh, Blaziken, so that's where that mon went. Entei, Chansey, and Blissey. Blastoise and Venusaur. You want to know where Zard is? All the way down here in trash F tier.
Way there. Trash.
It
But yeah, I think that I mean there really isn't a whole lot that's crazy about this B tier. I mean, it's a really good B tier, but like it's not got like that standout those standout Pokemon
Well,
there. Be
there's a
like,
lot of
whoa, this
there's a
is
lot of really good Pokemon
undervalued.
here. There's Blaze, Cinderace,
Yeah,
there's Keldeo that you wanted really bad in B tier because
dude,
I know you're gonna
Keldeo is
draft it.
trash, dude.
It is
I
not
am
trash.
not gonna trash it, dude. I
As an
will
S
not draft
tier,
Keldeo.
is not
You
worth
can
it,
you can
but
hold me to
as an
that
A
smudge,
tier,
and
it's
I
fine.
will not draft Keldeo because that mon is trash.
You're just gonna lose to it,
So
okay? Uh,
that's fine.
we got the mascot. We got Galarian Moltres. It's finally here. I may draft it. I may not. Who knows yet?
Yo,
The
yo,
Fresno
both of our
Firebird is right there.
mascots. Look at that. Both of our mascots here.
A
Let's go.
even the
Let's
one
go.
in your other draft is in S tier.
Yeah. It's
We
beautiful.
have so Silvally is able to run any of its typings if you draft it. Is
Hmm.
not held. Um, we are having what is it called? Toxicity. Be
Hmm.
you can be Toxicity one or the other. It doesn't matter because there's only one movement difference between them really, and it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Uh,
And then in ED, this is a difference that we had. Oh,
so
this is a first time for
normally,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, if you get
I
Indeedee, you
prefer
get both
Diddy being
Indeedees.
separate,
So.
but people ended up wanting Indeedee to be. You can be either male or female, whichever one you choose in the game. The reason I have kind of issue with that is, for the most part, like obviously toxicity is one issue where this isn't the case, but usually in like you can change Pokemon's forms. Typically for a lot of monsters drafted, with exceptions like the Rotoms.
Hmm.
So that's kind of weird because it's a Pokemon that you can't change its form. It's a gender. You can't change it in
Hmm.
game. So like that's kind of like an iffy thing. But
Yeah.
that's just kind of whatever. It's a mon that might not even draft, but it does have expanding force, so it is discount Tapu Lele.
Hmm. So yeah,
Um,
let's go on to the C tier. I
some just
mean,
really
I
good
think this is
value.
just yeah,
So
this
we
is a
had
really
Rhydon based on
value
yeah.
tier.
So we had Rhydon based on wherever Rhyperior was gonna go. So Rhyperior ended up falling in B tier, so we put Rhydon in C tier. If Rhydon was in D tier, oh my gosh, that would have been way too much value for that one.
Yeah,
Corsola,
but
Galarian
brings
Corsola is here.
down. We do have Gothorita in C tier just because of its trapping abilities. Like it's still not that bad. We have a couple like hail setters. So if you want some cheap hail, you have Vanillux and Abomasnow
Yeah,
here, which is pretty cool. We have the freaking MVP bird in Braviary, which is
whatever.
freaking awesome.
We have the season
So
2 MVP in Mudsdale here.
yo, let's go.
There is also the absolute bastard in Chinchino or Minchino or whatever the hell it is.
So yeah.
Incineroar is here. I thought Incineroar was B tier, but we ended up like making it to where so either Arcanine or Incineroar was going to C tier, and
Mhm.
we just ended up deciding on Incineroar. Uh,
So yeah, there's just a ton of value
there's a lot of
in
webs
this
here.
tier
There's some
alone.
rapid
Like
spear.
this is
Yeah,
incredible.
there's a lot of power.
So yeah,
There's webs. There's hazards. There's rapid spin. There's nukes.
yeah, we
So
pretty much just threw all the
C
webbers
tier,
in
yeah,
this
C tier
tier.
is actually pretty
Yeah.
good. C tier is actually pretty good. If you look at this year versus last year, it's like a big difference. D
Mhm.
tier, like this is where like there's a lot of like not nearly as good Pokemon, but Pokemon that you'll see actually put in work in seasons, right? Like you'll see like a little Executor, Weezing, Tangela, uh
We have a couple
Shuckle,
fat fairies down
yeah,
here, like with the Aromatisse and the Slurpuff, which like I don't think we had like any fairies in the D tier last
Regirock.
season. Which
Regirock is
yeah,
here. We
so
have Garbage Bag here, which actually isn't bad. We have Paparaja. We have more Pico, which is still, I think, a good mon. We have freaking Frosmoth. Like, there's actually a decent amount of value in D tier. We have the season 2
yeah,
defensive MVP here with Duskull. Duskull and Dusclops.
Dusclops.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Dusclops was
yeah,
season 10 defensive player.
yeah.
Uh, then we have Duskull and Dusclops both in the same tier. They both kind of do a little different things.
So yeah, like you're gonna see a lot of like the good pre-evolutions, you know, like your Scythers and your like Piloswines and stuff in this tier. So like and we do have Trapinch in D tier because yeah, that's a really good value trapper if you guys want to go with that
It has a
as
100
well.
basic attack. It's
So
just slow, but if you're
mhm.
faster than something, like I'm
And it
not
has
sure how
first impression. So
it does. Yeah.
there's that.
So in F tier, there's not really much here. There's
Mhm.
Pikachu. There's Jinx and Galarian, Mr. Mime.
Yo, shout outs to Calyrex being all the way in F tier. This
Being
one is
the
trash.
it is worse Celebi.
It's like garbage Celebi. It's not even worthy of worst. It's garbage. Oh my god.
Yeah,
But yeah, but no, like you can pick out some really good
there's some good
mons
ones.
still down
I
here
see.
in our F tier.
You can go
Um
Pyukumuku. You can go the Gulp Missilemon, Cramorant.
mhm.
Carkol is a decent enough spinner. You can have hazard setting in Ferroseed. There is weather removal in or hazard removal in Volibee. You have a tank or a fucking just a nuke here in Afro Man, Afro Horse, Afro whatever the hell it is.
Oh yeah, Bouffalant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's also a
that's a
number of
really
fighting
good
types.
choice.
We had to spread out the fighting types. I remember that because
Mhm.
like we ended up putting like like one of the Hitmons in D tier and two of them in C tier, and then over here we have like Throw and Sock and Graplocked and fucking what else? Is that it? Is that all the fighting
Yeah.
types we have? I think we have more.
Yeah,
Well,
we got a couple
I'm
good
struggling
ones
with
down here. Like
Regigigas,
yeah.
which Regigigas did get Protect and Rest.
Mhm. But
Finally.
I mean, like, and then like you have some like pre-evolution, like type null, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just a good little value tier, I think.
And then
Like
down here
you can
below
still
F,
find like these are bad Pokemon. These are bad Pokemon, but
and
like they're there. But except for Eldegoss, where's my
Eldegoss is just
Eldegoss?
trash.
Yeah. Except for Eldegoss. Eldegoss, if you draft Eldegoss, I'm sorry. I
It's
might
still
just
gonna cost you 20 points.
give you that one for free.
And
So,
and obviously, if people hadn't picked it out by now, the Stunfisks and
yeah,
the
this is the
they're
running
they're a
joke of the
meme.
league.
They're a meme at this point for us, but they are draftable in F tier. But I mean, they are broken, so please don't.
Yeah, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. So,
All right, okay, so it
but
is
yeah.
time for me to start randomizing the draft
Woo!
order. I have to wait for this to load.
Oh boy.
Damn, this is taking.
You guys are gonna be able to watch that on the on Majin's side. I will relay the information for you guys that are on my end.
You don't want to see it?
So yeah.
That's
Oh,
a.
oh, can
I can screen share it.
I'll watch it. I don't know how to freaking get to work.
I can
Let's see.
screen share.
Let's see. Women. Yeah, screen. And I'm gonna figure out how to do this. Display window capture. There it is. Let me add a window capture. And it won't let me select add new source. Yes. And we're going to add Discord. Sweet.
I need you to
Sweet.
tell me
So
all the
all right,
names of the
let's
players real quick.
watch.
Can you tell me all the names of the players?
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Okay.
start off
So,
easy. So we have Shadow.
all right. So the players. Just a second. Let me scroll up to the announcement post. Holy crap! You guys talk too much. Okay. So we got Shadow Stitch, Shadow Stitch, or Shadow Red, Bruins,
Okay, hold on, hang on. So far I have you, me, Quack, Camel, uh, Bruins,
Red,
Red.
Hawaiian Shaman. Just put
Okay,
Shaman.
I'll put H Shaman because isn't
Sure.
one of our guys the Shamans?
Uh, yeah, we actually have two shaman teams this time,
Yeah.
so
So we
it's
have
gonna be
red.
fun.
So I have Shadow, you, Quack, me, Camel, Bruins, Red, Knight, Hawaiian Shaman.
M Man. I'm just going down the list, so you
So
could
oh yeah,
just put them in one at the.
is M like 47 or something like that? M Man 47.
Yeah, M Man 47.
Uh-huh.
So you got Nick.
Nick, which is I'm just gonna put Arch
Yeah, that's
on
fine.
here.
Bob.
Bob, aka Boob.
Boob. So you
Uh-huh.
got Bughead making his
Buggy.
return since season 2. Good old Buggy.
Bughead.
You got Panda.
Is it two ways?
Yeah, it's two ways.
All right.
So and you got Embiid. E
Oh
M
yeah,
B I I
Embiid.
D. I'm pretty sure Embiid.
You've heard of Joel Embiid.
We got Kim,
Uh-huh.
uh, King Darthur.
King Darthur. Okay.
Yes, just like Arthur with a D in front of it.
Uh
So,
uh
Monkey.
You are ER.
You are
Oh, okay. Okay, you said monkey.
Monkey with a butterfly. I don't know how to do
I
that.
can't
Whatever.
do that. And then
And Rick.
so you can see my screen, right?
All right. And let's go back to how do I go? Damn it! There we go. All right.
Hey, guess what
So
I'm picking
is
at?
all right. So you did it. Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay, so we got Monkey getting the first overall pick. Then Camel, Rick, King Arthur, myself, Quack, Embiid, Bughead, uh, Ark, M-Man, Panda, Red, Kim, Majin at 14. Oh boy. Knight at 15, Shaman, Bruins, and Bob.
Can I just
So
re-roll this so I can get like top 10 pick?
I mean, you could have re-rolled it a couple times.
I'm just
Just
gonna
to
stay with it, unfortunately.
see how it's great. It's fine. It's a good order. It's a fine order, I guess. So yeah, there we go. So there you go, guys. There is the draft order for this season's. You just take a screenshot of it.
I did.
So
I'm also
or something.
copying
Okay.
the stuff so I can just.
So yeah,
Oh, fun! I get to be number 14. That means all my stuff is gonna get sniped.
dude, I was like number 12 or 11, I think it was in the 18-man draft that I just ended
Okay,
with.
but you're
Yeah,
5
it
now.
was
Okay,
kind of interesting.
you're getting what
Yo,
you
I'm
want.
I'm happy with 5. I'm good
Okay,
if I
okay.
can't be number 1, I'm good in that 2 to 5.
Just what is your first overall pick gonna be?
Oh my god. What is my first overall pick going to be? Uh if I
You're
can
probably
get
gonna
it,
get it.
I'm just going to get Tornadus Therian. I love Tornadus Therian. That's if I can get it, it's just possible, I guess, at pick 5, it's probably going to
Yeah.
be that.
I
There you
mean,
go.
I look at mine. I'm like, oh man, I'm already like, all right, these are gonna be gone. I'm like, these are gonna be so many things that I want are gonna be gone. I'm gonna be getting a bad team again. I already know it. Oh gosh. Oh,
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So
oh.
yeah.
I wonder if I can make a
Oh my
trade.
god.
I wonder if I can make a trade.
So yeah. But yeah, there you go. So there is the draft order, breakdown of the tiers, and breakdown of the rules, and also a little bit of history for the BBL. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much about it.
I might do like a look back for some of the games for the first few seasons in the future. I don't know yet. But
Mhm.
yeah, so look, we're going to do the team introductions after the draft
Mhm.
when we have
Mhm.
everything all finalized. Then we're gonna go through their teams, and we'll
Everybody will
have
get a nice
yeah, we'll
slide, and
we'll
we'll
probably
break
have like
down the teams, and
probably make like three
yeah.
separate the video into like threes,
Mhm. Yeah, break
just
it
make it
down
easier.
between divisions. I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
So.
You're our resident, everything maker in terms of graphic design.
Woo!
Yep.
I
So,
like doing it. I do. I genuinely like doing it. Guys, if you want a touch up on your logo, or if you need a logo, just let me know. I do want like making sure that everybody has a logo. This season, this time, like last time, like we didn't have a lot of people. However, this time, like I'm not gonna charge a lot. I think I'm just gonna charge like $5 or something like that. And if you guys
I'll make
want a
them a
logo,
logo. I'll make a
just
logo
just
for
let me
free.
go. Yeah, if you guys want a free logo, go to Majin, I guess. If you want like I think my logos look pretty decent,
They're good.
but like
I
that's
mean,
me.
they're
But
not too
yeah,
difficult to
I
make,
mean, I
maybe.
gave Majin a free logo because, yeah, as a gift for
Well, I mean,
inviting me on as a mod.
to be fair, my logo is just an image I found of glaring Moltres with Fresno Firebirds put on it.
I like it. I like it. Okay, it's a
Okay,
cool. I like it. I'm saying,
everyone's seen.
but
Real quick, has everyone seen freaking who was it? Camel? No, yeah, camels.
oh God, let me find it. Oh my God, I'm gonna put it on mine. Yeah, Camel's freaking logo. It is. Here it is. Good Lord.
Hang on. I have
This
to take this over.
atrocity. Oh my God. Look at this atrocity.
I'm gonna try to see if
Like,
I can find a source real
so
quick.
beautiful. But no. I mean, here's just a couple examples of logos I've made. So
Hang on.
this is
Where did
Knight's
you put it at?
logo. Hmm?
Where did you put that
On the
logo at?
dock. It's not in the dock yet.
Oh,
No.
I
Yeah.
remember
I
Camel put
haven't
it
built
somewhere.
the
I'm gonna look
team
for it.
pages yet.
Oh,
It's
here we
on the
go.
Discord
Oh
somewhere.
man, this is just
But yeah,
horrifying.
oh
Like
my God,
when
look
I
at
zoom
this
in,
atrocity though.
you can just see the detail. Like it's in the water. It looks like someone's crappy fanfic art. On top of that,
This is the video now.
the eye looks like it's part of the stun fisk, and it looks like it's a shirt mark.
Oh my God, this camel. I love it. I do. I actually do. It's freaking hilarious. So, but yeah, but no,
Oh man,
that's
jeez.
I think that's about it though, isn't it?
Yeah, that should be it. If, like I said, I'm gonna put a temporary link to the Discord server in the
Hmm.
description. If anyone wants to join in, they can, look at all the games. They can help out with other team building if they want. All these things. When you're
Hmm.
helping with team building, you probably want to do that in a PM. You don't want to be putting that in like the generals.
You guys are welcome to go to my personal Discord. I have a little help desk area for team building as well, so feel free to use that. But yeah, if you want to keep things a little bit more discreet, just PM us, or PM somebody else that you trust in the league, and we'll hook you up and we'll help you out. Um, like we said, Madra and I like to make sure that this league is for you guys and you guys are having fun. And if that means that we take a little bit of time to help you guys out at the cost of our own team building time or something like that, what we're happy to do it.
Yeah,
And I know, especially because we have a couple like players that are new to draft league as well. Just let us know. If you guys want some help, you got questions, we are always freaking willing to help you guys. So yeah,
yeah. All right.
fun times. So yeah,
Let's
and I think that's really about all we have to say. So yeah,
all right. Time to get
uh,
out of here and let me edit this thing. Everyone have a good
for
night. I have to hurry up and come up with a thumbnail too.
sure. All right, so yeah, it's gonna be it for me on my side. Like, comment, sub, all that fun stuff. Check the description for all the links to all the fun stuff. And yeah, deuces.